What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel with me, Adam from Green Auto Services. In today's video, you may recognise we have the 2014 Ford Focus back in. Now, you may remember this car from a previous video with an external coolant leak. Unfortunately, since that successful repair to that specific leak, I'm still losing coolant, and it's not external. Unfortunately, I carried out a sniffer test, which is a quick test just to indicate whether or not your head gasket may be failing, and unfortunately it failed dramatically. It suggests that exhaust fumes are making its way into the coolant system and the head gasket has failed. This is probably why I'm losing coolant. Either coolant is going into the combustion chamber, or actually coolant gases is pressurizing the system and it's being pushed out of the pressure release valve on top of the coolant reservoir. Either way, I have got to pull the cylinder head, and you guys are along for the ride. I am pulling an evening shift tonight because it's got to be done sooner rather than later, so I'm going to dive straight into it. If you enjoy the video, like it, well, you know the drill: like, comment and subscribe. So on that bombshell, let's dive straight into it. Okay then guys, welcome back. So you can probably see just by what I've edited so far, I've literally just been attacking each side of the cylinder head to remove anything that is attached to it. So I tried to get the wiring harness, main wiring harness out of the way from over the top. As you can probably see, I have disconnected the air intake, although funnily enough, if we get that wire out of the way, I actually noticed that if you have a look down in there, there is actually a load of moisture and oily coolant in there, which is another indicator of what I am actually chasing. I think this is absolutely why, or at least the symptom of the head gasket being gone. So what I am going to try and do is fully remove the intake manifold and give that a good thorough clean out. I've also disconnected the coolant flange, which bolts to this side of the cylinder head. I've also gone ahead, although a bit fiddly, managed to remove the exhaust manifold from the back side as well. So actually everything from these three sides is all disconnected. Now, I've already gone ahead and removed the engine mount to give me access to the belt and the timing cover. And if we come down here, I've removed the inner wheel arch liner to give me access to the bottom side of the engine as well, which is currently being supported by a trolley jack, but that just allows me to lower the engine up and down to gain access to all the remaining parts. So my next move is to take the auxiliary belt off, get the engine timed up and then marked, and then I can start attacking the crank pulley, get that off, and then take the timing cover off to remove the chain, take the camshafts out, and then crack off the head bolts. Okay, so a quick interim update. I actually managed to get the whole intake manifold out, so I'll be able to give that a good thorough clean. Now, this is the perfect opportunity to look down at the intake valves, and it's quite interesting actually, purely because, now if I can shed some light in the situation. So this is cylinder number 1. And if I can get you focused now, it doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't look too great. There's a bit of oil deposit, and there's quite a bit of build-up of either corrosion or something else on top of the valves. Not 100% sure. But moving on to cylinder 2. Now this one actually, compared to all of them, is slightly a bit different. And again, the valves seem to be quite badly corroded. Whether or not that's just coolant deposits, I'm not too sure. Perhaps someone can get in touch to give you a bit of insight. As compared to the next cylinders, cylinders 3 and 4, cylinder 4 seems to be a little bit carboned up. Again, a couple of oil deposits, perhaps the valve stems are slightly failing. And this is again cylinder 3. It's difficult to get some light in there, but there we go. Again, the tops of the valves have got quite a fair deposit on them, but by all means this car has actually been running absolutely fine, other than the fact that it was losing coolant. So hopefully the cylinder head shop can give this a good thorough clean up for me, replace anything that needs replacing. One thing I do suspect, positive crankcase ventilation valve, which is just here, that attaches to the underside of the intake. That's got quite a bit of gunk, kind of like coolanty, oily, gooey mess in there as well. So perhaps maybe that has failed and is letting oil through into the intake. I actually think I'm going to order a new one of them, because whilst I'm here it's just a few bolts, and that will just unbolt straight from the block. And hopefully it won't be too much at all. So that's where we are. I'm just about to get started on the timing cover side. I've just now got to start taking all the bolts off, obviously the crank pulley as well, get it all timed up, and then hopefully we can get the cams out and get the head off. Okay, so here we are down at the crank pulley side of the engine. Now, as you have just seen, there is a locking pin that I've just put in the side of the engine there. So as I turn the crankshaft around, the webbing on the crank is going to stop against the pin, and that will locate my top dead center for cylinder 1. On the crank pulley, there is also a small hole which lines up to a threaded hole that you can just see behind it there. So once the crank webbing stops against the locking pin, that hole should line up perfectly with that threaded hole. Then I can make my own timing marks to make sure that I know where everything is, just in case something goes wrong. And I'll also be making marks up at the top on the camshafts as well. So once I've got that all marked up, I'm then going to go ahead and buzz the center bolt out, and then hopefully remove that pulley without too much problems. Okay, I'm going to actually see if I can do this one-handed for you. So I'm going to now the spark plugs are out, so I can turn this engine over very easily. So, there we are. So you might have heard that. That's just got up against the webbing. And as you can see there, that is also lined up perfectly with the hole. So we now know that that is top dead center. I'm going to make my marks, and then when I am ready to lock everything up, I'm going to get myself, I believe it's an M10 by 1.25 thread, or 1.5, to go in there, screw into the actual timing cover, and then I know exactly where everything is.